Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for the opportunity to speak here this evening. We've got some new ideas that we'd like to introduce to the community. I think it's more symmetry and logical progression in terms of the advancement of the city of Joplin that some 5 years ago in one day that we made the downtown presentation in this very chambers. That was done on July 5th, 2005, and I think we've come a long way since then. Most would agree that the transformation of downtown has been dramatic. Downtown is your city's front door. It is your most recognizable part of the city, and you have to keep your front door painted, and I think we've done that over the last 5 years. By improving the appearance of downtown, we've enhanced the image of our entire city. Our success with downtown has provided a foundation on which to build with other community improvements. Our accomplishments prove that we as a community can achieve lofty goals. However, we are not done in our efforts. While the improvements in aesthetics have been significant, we have yet to make downtown a hive of activity and a complete commercial success. I think we're heading in that direction, and I think we're going to get to that point in time, but I think we need to do something proactively to make sure that happens and assure and guarantee that we do arrive at that point. To round out and finalize our efforts, I believe that we need a destination place or a number of attractions that draw people to that area and then spill over into our redeveloped downtown along Main Street. In addition, redevelopment of existing areas and buildings, which we will discuss here this evening, is consistent with a sustainable community approach and a retrenchment mode of today's world as dictated by recent economic challenges that we have all experienced. In order to determine our next step, we have applied the tenets of our brand of entrepreneurial government. That is, we have approached our situation with an open mind, and we have explored all possibilities. Such an approach or mindset has enabled the transformation of Joplin. In developing our next big plan for Joplin, we tried to accomplish three broad objectives. First, we wanted something to add to and enhance our downtown successes. Secondly, we wanted something to provide the 250,000 people estimated a day that travel to Joplin another reason to stay here during the evening hours, and in doing so, lessen the tax burden on our residents. And thirdly, we wanted to develop something to significantly enhance the quality of life for Joplin residents and take us to that next level of overall community redevelopment. One of the things that my position affords me is a perspective on how things are linked. With that vantage point, I can see that homelessness is linked with neighborhood redevelopment, which in turn are influenced by and influence graduation rates. Those issues in turn have a bearing on downtown redevelopment, overall community enhancement, which enriches quality of life, and in turn helps to strengthen economic development. I'm happy to report that I believe that Joplin is making progress on each of these fronts. Improvement in one area facilitates and enhances the other areas. Internally within these individual categories, the more we can link improvements within each one of these specific categories with other improvements in the same area, the more synergy we create. And in that spirit, we offer the following plan. Let me start out this part of the presentation by explaining at this stage I don't have every little aspect of a project of this magnitude figured out yet. There will likely be questions that I can't answer at this point. We will indeed need to enlist the help of professional specialists to flesh out every detail of the project. If you look at the screen, you can see that the acronym that we've developed for this project is SPARK. And SPARK stands for Stimulating Progress Through Arts, Recreation, and Knowledge of the Past. The first aspect of this three-part plan is the installation of a town green to serve as a large green space and gathering spot for public events in the downtown area. While Spiva Park serves its purpose, and while we will continue to enhance that city asset, most would agree that the size of the park has limited its overall use. The need for a larger family-oriented public space is reflected in many studies and analyses the city has performed over the years, including the most recent Drury study, the aforementioned downtown redevelopment presentation in 2005, the 2003 comprehensive plan update, and finally the 2002 Joplin Downtown Revitalization Plan. The proposed location for this park would be the area directly behind the old Social Security building, now used as the headquarters for the city's MAPS system, or the public transportation system, at 123 South Main Street. The location was selected for many reasons, some of which will be evident later in the presentation. One of the reasons this site was chosen is that it is very nearly the geographic center of the city. As such, it would serve as the ideal center for the hub and spokes linear trail system within the city, as presented in my July 5th, 2005 Downtown Redevelopments presentation. Interestingly enough, walking/jogging trails was the leading response area at 75% in the recent Parks Recreation Survey completed by Joplin citizens in terms of the importance to Joplin residents, and as such figures prominently in the upcoming park stormwater sales tax discussion that we will engage in. Fully developed, the hub and spokes trail concept can look like this with continued support by Joplin citizens. The second reason for the location is the interfacing opportunities presented by intersecting two transportation systems, the trolley system and the trail system. As I previously stated, the old Social Security building is the headquarters of the city's public transportation system. I will touch more on this later, as the federal government will be emphasizing this combination of modes of transportation in the future. A third reason is this area is extremely visible and connects the Broadway area of the city and the revitalized downtown. The proposed park will be more than just a green space, as it will serve as the virtual center for the city and a gateway into the downtown area. Included in the design is a quadruplex clock tower serving as the park's focal point. This four-sided clock will be equipped with bells, chimes, and musical features. Located below the clock is a raised platform with elevated planters centered around a decorative fountain that can be capped and covered with a wooden stage for bands or other events in performances or holiday displays. A decoratively paved section beneath the clock will be installed to accommodate large groups. This area would be encircled by a seat wall in addition to an enclosure that can be flooded in the wintertime to allow for ice skating. 4 shelters will be located in each corner of this area, outfitted with built-in tables and benches, where along with the footwall space can allow a spot for lunches and picnics. The town green sidewalks leading into this area will be lined with downtown themed brick pavers and low boxwood hedges. In addition, trees of different types with all the genus and species related information listed will be placed around the park, providing an educational component to the development. There is an additional interactive fountain display on the east side of the park. A naturally terraced amphitheater could be added by utilization of the land contours, leading to a stage area at the base of the eastern hill. Other amenities included in this town green include a restroom facility, a small children's playground with railroad-themed recreation toys, flower beds, and an area for sculpture and outdoor art. The second aspect of the Spark Plan is the construction of Cultural Arts Center. The Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce in early 2009 formed a Cultural Arts Committee with